Welcome to What Should You Do, Docket. Today I'm going to be talking about what happens if your child is injured in an organized sport. Is anyone liable for their medical cost for their injuries? Children and teens are more likely to sustain traumatic brain injuries, or what they call TBI, including concussions, and take longer to recover than adults do. Traumatic brain injury symptoms may appear mild, but the injury can lead to significant lifelong impairments affecting an individual's memory, behavior, learning, or emotions. The appropriate diagnosis, management, and education are critical for helping young athletes with a traumatic brain injury recover quickly and fully. As I indicated previously, there are several organizations right now that are really looking to help diagnose and treat and prevent concussions: the National Federation of High School Sports, the Center for Disease Control, and the NCAA. Now, each year, U.S. emergency departments treat an estimated 173,285 sports and recreation-related traumatic brain injuries, including concussions, among children and adolescents from birth to 19 years. Overall, the activities associated with the greatest number of traumatic brain injury-related emergency room visits included bicycling, football, playground activities, basketball, and soccer. National surveillance in 9 high school sports, traumatic brain injuries represent almost 9% of all injuries reported in the 9 sports. Numbers and rates are highest in football, and girls soccer is extremely high also. And as the father of 2 daughters, I can tell you for a fact that soccer players experience a lot of concussions. Matter of fact, a few years ago, my daughter's soccer team, in one season, they had 5 young ladies who had concussions and were unable to play for an extended period of time. A national survey of all sports and recreation-related injuries among all ages demonstrates that 31% occurred in a sports facility and 20% in a school facility. So, what should you do to protect yourself from costly medical bills related to these type of injuries? Here are some tips and suggestions. First of all, I know a lot of the high schools, before an athlete can engage in any interscholastic athletic activities, they have to have insurance. A lot of the injuries that athletes do cover mainly are going to be paid for by the insurance that the parents cover. Schools and organizations may also carry insurance, and that may help defray the cost if you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't cover a lot of those bills. So before your child gets involved in that type of activity, you might want to check your insurance as well as the insurance for the school or the athletic association. Now, sometimes parents sue school district or athletic associations, claiming that the schools or the athletic associations were negligent for things like not having the proper safety equipment, not having the proper emergency care on hand at the time of the injury. You have to be very careful when it comes to suing schools because of a thing called sovereign immunity. And there are cases in the state of Ohio that talk about what you have to show for or to be able to recover against a school for sovereign immunity. For instance, there have been lawsuits brought against schools for gymnasiums that have had wet water that they knew that existed, but yet they didn't do anything to clean up the water or fix the leak. In football fields with exposed sprinkler heads. Other things where individuals, the participants are, exposed to hazards. Mm-hmm. So what should you take? What kind of precautions should you take? Well, if your child is playing sports or competing in something right now, or if he or she is thinking about trying out, you should find out the injury and statistics for that particular sport. Check with Safe Kids USA, your family doctor, and your child's coach for more information. 2, ask your insurance agent if sports-related activities are covered by your medical and health insurance. 3, ask officials at the school district or the athletic association that is sponsoring the sport if they carry insurance that will pay for the treatment if your child is injured. 4, make sure your child has all the proper safety equipment and gear. If it's not provided by the school, go out and buy it yourself. Make sure that they have the proper equipment to be able to participate. And 5, ask the coaches and staff if they are trained in emergency first aid and CPA. A lot of these schools, a lot of activities, a lot of associations have certified athletic trainers on staff that will treat injured athletes and help them through the recovery process. So if you have any questions regarding any liability issues regarding an injury that your son or daughter may have experienced, contact an attorney. Again, make sure that your insurance will cover the treatment that your child receives for the injuries, and also contact the school for any other issues regarding insurance. And again, look at the questions that you may want to ask your attorney about, waivers. Should your son and daughter, participate if they don't sign the waiver, if you don't sign the waiver? If your insurance doesn't pay, can you force the school to pay for it? And finally, can you sue other players of the school if she is injured? So, a lot of issues there. Again, I think the best thing to do is consult an attorney in a situation like that.
Daryl, thank you very much. I want to thank you for tuning in. Remember to go to our Facebook page, Cincinnati Law Works, to find out more information about the show and to find out what we're going to have on next month. So, Daryl, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.